Hello everyone, welcome to edupediaworld.com. This is your video lecturer Vamika Soni, and today I will describe absorption of water and minerals by plants. Also, there are some forces which are responsible for ascent of sap that will be discussed, and some experiments related to the topic will also be demonstrated for better understanding. In plants, water is absorbed by roots and soil is the main source of water to plants. See, absorption takes place along the concentration gradient. What does that concentration gradient means? It is when the solute concentration of cell sap is higher than that of the soil water, the water enters the root hairs and the water is absorbed when transpiration rate is high. See, in this figure you can see that these are the root hairs and how these root hair absorb water. This is the direction of the water that you can see, and through the root hairs the water is absorbed by the plant and it reaches to several parts of the plant. And remember one thing, that absorption always takes place along the concentration gradient. Yes, this point is very important, that absorption always takes place along the concentration gradient. Okay. There are certain points that you should always remember regarding the absorption of water by plants. These are: water is absorbed when the transpiration rate is high. Whenever the transpiration rate is high, the water will then absorbed. Then we have, like, due to the high transpiration rate, water deficit is created in transpiring cells. Okay. And the rapid transpiration removes water and reduces turgor pressure in the living cell of root. Remember what is turgor pressure? If you don't remember, you can anytime watch my previous video lecture about turgidity, flaccidity and plasmolysis. The suction force thus developed is transmitted to root xylem and it pulls water from surrounding cells to make up water deficit. Next we will discuss about absorption of minerals. The mineral nutrients are absorbed as salts and other simply as ions. See, mineral absorption is not done by the root hairs alone. Instead, the entire root system is involved in this process. Some of the mineral nutrients are absorbed as salts like nitrates, phosphates, sulfates, etc. and other simply as ions. Which ions? Ions like potassium, calcium, magnesium, chlorine, etc. Minerals can be absorbed by two following methods. First is the passive mineral absorption and second we have the active mineral absorption. In case of passive mineral absorption, the ions are absorbed from the region of their higher concentration in the soil. Okay, higher concentration in the soil to their lower concentration in the cell along the concentration gradient without requiring any metabolic energy. It takes place by following methods. These are mass flow, diffusion and ionic exchange. I will describe about these methods in my upcoming slides. First of all, understand this, that the passive mineral absorption, it takes place from the region of higher concentration, and the higher concentration is in the soil, to their lower concentration which is in the cell, and it occurs along the concentration gradient and it does not require any metabolic energy. That is why it is called passive mineral absorption. Now let us see that what are the three methods that are required and that are used in case of passive mineral absorption. The first method is mass flow. What happens in mass flow? Ions move into the roots along with the flow of water in a mass due to transpiration pull. Then the second method is diffusion. Diffusion, we all know what is diffusion. Minerals move from their higher concentration to their lower concentration. This movement is also done through ion channels that function as selective pores in the cell membrane. And the last method in passive mineral absorption is ionic exchange. What happens in ionic exchange? The ions absorbed to the cell wall are exchanged from the soil. That is, an anion is exchanged for an anion and a cation is exchanged for an cation. Okay, these are the three methods: mass flow, diffusion and ion exchange. They come under passive mineral absorption. Next we have active mineral absorption. See, as the heading describes, it must be a method that uses energy. So what is active mineral absorption all about? We will see. Ions are absorbed from a region of their lower concentration to the region of their higher concentration, and the higher concentration is in the cell. Okay, during this type of transport, metabolic energy is required, as the name suggests, which is provided in the form of ATP. Active absorption occurs through carriers present in the cell membrane of absorbing cells. These carriers are protein molecules. Next, we have forces that are responsible for ascent of sap. These forces are capillarity, root pressure, cohesive force and transpiration pull. First, we will discuss about capillarity. Xylem vessels are very thin. Okay, when a cut stem is placed in water, fluid is drawn up to 1 meter. This is helpful in smaller plants, but it is not enough to get the water to the top of the tall trees. So capillarity is one of the forces responsible for ascent of sap, which is very useful for the plants which are not very long in height, but in case of tall trees it is not that effective. Okay, next we have root pressure. The pressure developed in the roots due to inflow of water, which helps in pushing up the plant sap upward, is called root pressure. See, the water which is absorbed by the root hairs from the soil collects in the cell of the cortex. Now, because of this collection of water, the cortical cells become fully turgid. What is turgidity? Please, you all refer to my previous video lecture if you don't remember what is turgidity. Okay, in such circumstances, the elastic walls of the cortical cells exert pressure on their fluid contents and force them towards the xylem vessels. Due to this loss of water, these cortical cells become flaccid, again absorb water, become turgid, and thus again force out their fluid content. Thus, the root pressure is one of the forces to raise water through the stem, okay, into the leaves. But this force alone cannot push water up to the top of the tree. Next, we'll get to know about cohesive force. Now, the water molecules have a great mutual attraction, as you all know, H2O, okay, with each other. Or in other words, we can say that they have tremendous cohesive force. This was the third force that was responsible for ascent of sap. Next is transpiration pull. Now, due to the transpiration from leaves, a great water deficit takes place in its cell. As a result of this deficit, the water is drawn osmotically from xylem cells in the leaf veins and by the cell surrounding the veins. Thus, a sort of pull is produced in the uppermost xylem cell in the leaves, which is called the transpiration pull. In this way, the water rises due to the transpiration pull and cohesive force of water molecules from the lowest part of the roots to the highest peaks of the trees. Okay. Now this we have discussed about forces that are responsible for ascent of sap. Now what is ascent of sap? It is the upward movement of water and minerals from the root to the crown. See the connectivity between the topics. First we have discussed about the absorption of water and minerals. Now we have discussed about after water and minerals are absorbed by the root hairs, how they reach to the top of the trees, like to the crown. This is ascent of sap. These all were the forces that were responsible for ascent of sap. Ascent of sap is the upward movement of water and minerals from the root to the crown. Here we have an experiment that will make the understanding much better about root pressure. Now the aim of this experiment is to show that turgor in root cells build up root pressure. The requirements are potted plant of balsam, glass tubing, knife, rubber connection and a manometer. The procedure is, we have to cut a well-watered potted plant a few centimeters above the soil. After cutting the plant, we have to fix a glass tubing to it by the rubber connection. See, you can all see in this figure that this is the rubber connection which is fixed on the plant, and to this a manometer is connected. Next step is to connect this glass tube with the manometer. Then we have to note down the initial level in the manometer and keep the complete apparatus for some time. After some time, what we observe, that the level of mercury in the glass manometer rises. This was the initial level of mercury in the manometer, and this is the final level of mercury in manometer. Now how is this possible that the level of mercury has increased? What is the reason behind it? It is observed that the water starts coming out of the cut end. See, here we have cutted this plant and the water is coming out of the cut end of the stem and rises up in the glass tubing. This pushes the mercury in the glass manometer up. It shows that due to heavy pressure from the roots, called the root pressure, it is enough to rise the level of mercury. And now you must have understood that how this force which is responsible for ascent of sap, known as root pressure, works. So this was all for today's video lecture. In my upcoming video lecture, I will discuss more about absorption of water and minerals from soil, and also there will be certain experiments that I will demonstrate for better understanding. Keep watching to the videos of edupediaworld.com. Thank you very much for listening and have a wonderful day ahead.